work that way. Now, Hawaii's on the one side, on the far side of the international date line, right?
Absolutely.
So they really are far behind us. It seems, even though they're geographically the closest.
Yeah,
Guam is, but
yeah, it's kind of like it plays with your mind when you try to call Hawaii versus calling like Detroit. It's like it's counterintuitive, but yeah, so they are way behind. It's kind of funky.
And when say for instance, Super Tuesday was happening. It was Tuesday a lot earlier here than it was there. I'm looking for the results on Wednesday morning. It was, noon on Wednesday before I'm getting the Super Tuesday results.
Absolutely.
And quite the results they were. Let's talk about the presidential stuff here briefly.
Well, what I think is awesome is how, Michael Bloomberg, after spending $500 million,
$500 million he drops.
He
From the advertising industry, I'd say, thank you, Mike.
Yeah, he couldn't sway the election the way a couple $100,000 on Facebook ads from the Russians could do.
Well, it's the Russians, after all.
Well,
it's not the Democrats' terrible policy. It's not putting up the worst, most unpalatable candidate possible. It's the Russians.
I just I'm going to get the country to behave. It's like, yeah, there you go, Mike. This is a sheer way of getting everybody's oppositional defiance disorder kicking in.
Yeah. Everybody wants to be told they can't have a big gulp.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad he's out. Elizabeth Warren, she's out. But she did say that that Bernie Sanders is responsible for his candidates, his supporters, which is interesting. How can you be responsible for your supporters?
Well, see, collectivists kind of believe crazy stuff like that.
It really is.
Yeah, but
what if a KKK guy sent money to the Elizabeth Warren campaign? Is she then responsible for the KKK?
Only if they send it to a Republican.
That's right.
Like if a Ku Klux Klan guy sent 50 cents to Trump, Trump's in collusion. But if they send it to like Elizabeth Warren, no, absolutely not.
And it's a silly thought that she has. I guess at this point, Joe Biden went from an afterthought, doing nothing in Iowa, to the presumptive nominee at this point. It's crazy.
Well, my conspiracy theory is that Joe Biden he's the guy that they're going to put in there because, well, first of all, he has been their boy for a long time.
He's been a different candidate. He's been a different politician in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the aughts, the teens. I mean, he's been doing it a long time.
But he's also bat guano insane. I think he's suffering. I mean, I'm not a psychiatrist, but he's definitely showing signs of dementia. But my theory is that what they're going to do.
He doesn't know what state he's in.
Yeah, and he
forgot Barack Obama's name a couple of times in a speech.
Well, I just was fascinated to find out how he found out about roaches that day when he was talking about his hairy legs.
What?
Yeah, I have these hairy legs. They turn blonde in the sun, and I go to the swimming pool, and the little children would climb on my legs and stroke my hair. And that's how I found out about roaches.
What?
And I was going, he's going to lead the world. But the thing is I really believe that Hillary Clinton is going to be brought into the convention as his running mate. And they're also talking about Michelle Obama, and it's going to be a totally brokered convention where none of these people who believe that the Electoral College is bad because their vote didn't count. You want to see your vote really not count? Just watch it. Wait until the convention. So my theory is what they're going to do is they're going to bring Hillary in, Queen Hillary, and then right after he gets, if he won, which I doubt it, but you never know what's going to happen. But if he wins, what they want to do is they'll probably take that 25th Amendment stuff because they've been pushing with
What's
Trump.
that?
It's basically saying that if the president has been deemed by the cabinet to be incompetent or ill or whatnot, that they can remove him and put the vice president in charge.
Okay.
So
then they put Hillary in charge?
So then they'd put Hillary in charge, and they'd have Madam President, because, I think these people are. I think the Democratic Party is just that delusional.
Can she get anything done as somebody who has been placed in, as opposed to? I mean, there's no mandate at that point, right?
Well, I don't know, but it's like this. I believe that they did have that plan to take down America and bring it into a globalist type of situation.
Is this the Paul Birch, the Birch Society?
Well, yeah, and it's something like the Q guys have been talking about, but I really after
QAnon.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I mean, I've been kind of studying this stuff for like 30 years. Like it started with the Kennedy assassination.
It always does.
Yeah, but I really think that the cabal that whacked John Kennedy has been in charge, and like Trump was an anomaly, and he was never supposed to come in. And I think there was
they must not be in charge if he could come in, right?
Well, I think we had some guardian angels in the military who are patriots, and they
How would they have anything to do with the vote counting, though?
Well, it wasn't about the vote counting. What I think they did was they picked a guy with enough name recognition and enough of his own money and convinced him to run. And I think that's.
Well, I kind of think the thing that Biden managed to stop with Sanders is what the Republicans didn't see coming with Trump.
Mm-hmm.
So
right.
I believe, here's my conspiracy theory, that Biden picked up the phone and called all the other candidates and basically said, hey, look, Sanders is going to get 30 to 40% in every state because that's what he's able to pull. The only way we can beat him is if we have one candidate that can get 60.
And they can't control him. I mean, he may be I believe Bernie Sanders is a stinking communist, but I mean, let's face it.
He's a communist that isn't paid off.
Well, I think in the last election they offered him silver or lead. And I think he made the right choice because you saw he bought that new house right after the primary. I mean,
he could have had the money anyway, but yeah.
I mean, it's there. I think there's a lot more going on, and I think you have to be naive to think that there isn't some rough stuff going on. But it's the most important position in the world. Yeah.
So one would think there's a certain amount of rough stuff that goes on.
Well, my question is it really the most important? It's the most public position. But I
didn't say powerful. I said important.
Well, the shape-shifting reptilians that actually run everything don't want their name in the paper. I say that with my tongue in cheek, But I
hear they live under Stapleton Airport.
Well, no, that's just their Hilton. That's where they hang out at.
Every airport has a little place underneath for the shape-shifting lizard.
Well, actually, they've got their main place in the Vatican Library, and then Buckingham Palace. I heard. Of course, I'm just quoting David. I remember reading David Icke for the first time in 1996. Reading, wow, this is either really good science fiction or we're all screwed.
I do love the notion that shape-shifting lizard people, but most of it's just like this. I think it was this TV show in the '80s called V.
Yeah.
But
he
seems to have liked it.
I think I think the film They Live is more of a documentary. At this point.
The number 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. Call in and talk about, your thoughts on the presidential stuff or coronavirus. We're going to be getting to that here briefly. And whatever, 855-450-FREE. Free Talk Live.
Ike was such a sweet, lovable animal, and people would want to pet him, and they'd come up, and they'd get close to him, and it would be this instant, oh! My dad didn't want to touch him. It's like, ooh, get the stinky dog away from me.
Even after we'd give her a bath, she would still stink.
Very stinky, both bad breath and bad gas. I asked the vet, and he said some dogs are just stinky.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dinovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
The omega-3 fatty acids.
Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa, the digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food.
The ingredients convinced me that it was definitely worth trying. After about a week, he started smelling normal. My husband and I were really kind of astonished.
Dinovite
is nutrition.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org. Don't miss this year's LibertyCon with great speakers like Whole Foods CEO John Mackey, Congressman Justin Amash, and Nobel Prize winner Vernon Smith. Attend 2 spectacular debates. Is government necessary, and does capitalism require government intervention? Network with over 70 pro-liberty organizations. This and a whole lot more. April the 3rd through the 5th in Washington, D.C. Visit LibertyCon.com and use code FTL for a $10 discount on LibertyCon.com.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
There are basically 2 types of advertising: direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer-term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450 free, as in freedom. It's Mark with you.
And Dave.
And you can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That's what we do here on Free Talk Live. We do it 7 nights a week from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. That, by the way, is 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Chamorro Standard Time is what we call it. It's the same time zone as Sydney, though.
Yeah.
But Sydney's on the other side of the equator, so I guess they don't do it the same way.
They just do it backwards.
Whatever they do it backwards. It rotates in the other direction.
Yes.
Are you 100% sure you're going to have a great retirement, or do you have some doubt? Tom Young, the author and founder of the CFO Project, can show you how to be debt-free in 9 years or less, including your mortgage, without spending a single dollar more. With the current state of the federal debt at $23 trillion and unfunded liabilities at $127 trillion, you can't wait to take control of your money. You don't want to let your retirement savings be used to bail out the government. Instead of building a plan, Tom can show you how to create strategies now to save money without penalties in as little government involvement as possible. His new book, The Family Money Farm, the CFO Project, will show you exactly how to build wealth and eliminate debt all at the same time. Get your free copy now at cfo-project.com. cfo-project.com. Look, money in this world is freedom to some extent. It may not be freedom, but it's analogous to it. So get your free copy of The Family Money Farm today at cfo-project.com. So the coronavirus is all the news. You have economies crashing, stock markets up, it's down. It's down, it's up, it's back down again. We don't know what's going on. I got a couple of stories here. It looks like Amazon and eBay are now going after price gougers. And this is always a phenomenon whenever some catastrophe occurs. Now, I haven't gone and looked at what the price gouging, the story. I didn't know that this was happening. It was just news to me when I saw the news stories. But anyway, we'll get into that here in the near future. First, I want to go to Harry calling in from Fort Wayne. Harry, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
All right. Hey, how's it going? I just heard you guys talk about the coronavirus.
That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I kind of want to get your opinion, I'll take on it.
You want my opinion about the coronavirus? Okay.
Well, hold up. Before I get you into that opinion stage. So basically, from my understanding, do you believe that it's just something that it's just distracting us from other, media attention, economy, like how you just mentioned, or just something along the line there?
What's that I believe? You need to restate that for me. I didn't understand.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm not really good at trying to... Anyway, so I was saying is that do you believe that the coronavirus is just some virus that's just distracting us from something like the economy, like you mentioned earlier?
I think the coronavirus has killed fewer people in the amount of time that's been in the news than the flu has. And so
Right.
I think it's interesting that people focus on this, this lesser problem when a greater problem is facing them. But I don't know.
Right.
I do not think the coronavirus is some kind of news conspiracy to keep us from talking about the economy. But there are important issues out there. Sure.
Well, there's been a couple of things that I've been reading and looking at about this thing is that it's definitely being used by the Chinese Communist Party, I think, as an excuse to crack down on dissidents. It's very convenient to be able to lock everybody up in their apartments and then say, oh, well, you've got coronavirus, and then take them out, and then, oh, they died of coronavirus. I mean, so you had the Hong Kong protests going on big time. You had they're getting squirrely.
Right, that's just
with,
gone at this point.
Yeah, and they're getting squirrely with Taiwan, and that might be an excuse. And then, of course, the media, who has it in for doing whatever they can to derail the president, President Trump. They're gonna use the fear to drum up, like for example, I saw Bill Maher back, a couple of years ago was saying the only way to get rid of Trump is to have a recession, and well, if that means people are going to have to starve, well, so be it. Because it's, these, the limousine liberals sitting there, So I think that yes, absolutely, people are going to use this as a black swan event to try to do whatever they can to bring about an agenda. Now, is it a hoax? No, it's a real virus.
So what do you think, Harry?
Oh, yeah, same here. I believe it is a real virus. It's just what my understanding is that, people have died from the flu, because flus have came long ways ago. You know what I'm saying? Heck, if I understand right, when the first settlers came to America, didn't they came with some certain disease that kind of killed
smallpox wiped out.
Yeah, there were a variety of diseases, but it's because the people here didn't in the North American continent didn't have immunity. Same thing happened in the Marianas, actually.
Yep, happens everywhere.
Right. And, it's funny because looking at it, it's just because, how can I say? Because how the coronavirus is doing, and I do believe it is not a hoax. I do believe it is a danger, and I do believe it kills. And what my understanding is that, so why affect us is that's the problem, because they said that 10 people, from my understanding, 10 people have died, and there's like 200 cases of the coronavirus. Okay, so how can you really, track all that down knowing people really have that? Because people in China, the only reason why they're getting it is just because what's the population of China? Like 8 million? I don't know.
1.2 billion.
Yeah, a billion.
And guess what? China is kind of a small country versus us. We're a big country, and we can
same size.
Yeah, same size geographically.
Yeah, China's exactly the same size.
I just don't think the United States has enough tests in enough locations.
Yeah.
So supposedly somebody in Bradenton, Florida, my hometown, came up with it. Well, where did Manatee Memorial Hospital? How many tests do they have? And
I mean,
how do we know?
Scuttlebutt.
Thanks for the call, Harry.
Yeah, scuttlebutt is that there's been 10 cases here in Saipan, but not
right. They've said things, but we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know anything because it's difficult to get the tests out, and you only know if somebody's been given a test.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, it's a good topic, and I'm interested in it. Larry from Indiana, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, I was looking through.
Oh boy, your audio's way low, Harry. Larry,
I can't hear him very well.
How's that?
Oh, much better.
That's a lot better, sir.
Okay, I cut the speakerphone off. But, I know you guys don't like to get into Bible prophecy, but I was reading some of the work of the prophet Isaiah. And
Bible prophecy coming up here in just a moment with Larry from Indianapolis. 855-450-3733. Just hold the line there, Larry. 855-450-FREE on Free Talk Live.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
I can definitely say that I have found the best cryptocurrency wallet. Certainly the best named one. I'm Mark Edge, and I love the Edge wallet. I've been using it for the last few months. You can buy, sell, trade, and hold your cryptocurrency securely. I trust my holdings of all the major cryptocurrencies to Edge Wallet, and you should too. No long phrases to memorize, just a username and password. Secure your freedom with Edge Wallet. Get it now on Apple or Android in the App Store or at edge.app.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Following the news this week that recording artist and industry magnate Bob Dylan would be laying off 2,000 workers from his Muscatine, Iowa songwriting factory in an effort to streamline his music-making operations, The Onion spoke with veteran factory worker Travis Felton, who received a pink slip earlier today.
I've been working on the lyric assembly line for 25 years now. Punch in each and every morning, make sure the words are complex and poetic. And yesterday, the foreman calls me into his office to tell me that the company is reducing headcount. They're giving the whole rhyming section the boot. What Mr. Dillon and the other suits don't understand is that here in Muscatine, songwriting is all we have. And we've been doing the best damn Dylan songs in the world for over 50 years, and now they're trying to take that away from us. I don't know what I'm supposed to do next. Well, I guess I could see if they're hiring over at the Tom Petty factory in Hurstville. Lord knows I hoped it'd never come to that.
This is the Onion News Network.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
Call in. Talk about whatever is on your mind. It is Mark with you.
Alex. And Dave.
That's right. Alex sitting in with us here. Alex walked into the studio while we were on the air during the last segment. And, well, I got a third microphone. Have it all set up. So welcome. And thanks for joining us. Want to tell you real quick about Bitcoin.com. Bitcoin.com. If you have not gotten into this whole cryptocurrency thing, this is the place to go because they make it simple for you to get all the information you need. They've got some videos there, short videos, that'll explain everything to you right off the bat. If you don't get it the first time, you can watch it again. They have, wallet apps that you can download and use. They have ways to purchase Bitcoin Cash. They make it simple. They've got all the latest news. They've got their own news department, which is pretty rare these days, especially in the crypto sphere. It's Bitcoin.com. I highly recommend it. And please head on over there and check them out. Bitcoin.com. Let's go, guys. Let's go back to Larry. He's got biblical prophecy from Isaiah that he's going to talk about, which he knows he has a tough audience with me. Go ahead, Larry.
Okay, here it goes. Now, it says, in the coming disaster, law and order, decency, and leadership will come to an end, and oppression will be the rule. The whole people will be in anarchy. Indeed, the leaders have misled and confused the people. For this reason, God has entered his courtroom to bring formal charges against this nation for their covenant violations. Verses 13 and 15, he has entered his legal brief against the elders and government officials, making against them this charge. They have crushed the poor and have used the poverty and defenselessness of the weak as their source of wealth and strength. Now,
normally, I wouldn't let a verse go on that long, but I got to say that is some good stuff right there.
It is. It is. Yeah. I mean, the last part of that is so true because now you see all the 501c3 charitable corporations coming in. You see all the people here coming to do good for climate change and stuff, and the people, doctors, and just like this virus and stuff we have going on now. That's a part of it. Somebody's getting paid off big time in the medical industry for this disease that does not amount to as much as the flu virus is causing damage on people. But we are it's running up the flagpole. We're saluting it. We're going out here. I've seen so many stupid-looking people today downtown with big masks over their face, as if they can do something to help themselves. I mean, people need to get a grip and see what they're being used. I mean, sick people with cancer, homeless people, people with AIDS, people with addiction problems are all being preyed on by vultures. And in that instance, when they do that, they only create more poor people, more homeless people, so for them to suck the blood out of, then to suck their guts out. So we need to really wake up, Americans, whoever's out there.
How do we solve this, Larry?
We are being duped.
Amen.
Amen.
How do we solve it, Larry?
How do we solve it? By waking up and stop going for everything they say. I mean, Corona is I mean, give it a beer name, right? Everybody loves beer. Funny.
It's interesting
a funny
how they got
joke.
Corona out of COVID-19.
No,
Yeah, and now they want to have it in our state where the governor came out today. There's one case, right? Now that everybody's rejoicing about the one case. I mean, it's like your state ain't got a Corona case. Well, you need to go get one so you can get extra money from the federal government for your sick people. So
Poor
it's just a
Wyoming
sick
is
bunch of
left out.
garbage.
Well, you know,
Hey,
it's,
guess
it's
what? Hey, one good thing now. I'm getting my radio from C. Crane, so I'll be able to listen to the program.
They do have high-quality radios. Thanks for the call, Larry. C. Crane Company is known as like the producer of the best radios in the world. AM, FM, sort of, and you can get shortwave and like Weather Channel and all that stuff in one go. I don't know if I consider the I don't know what the relationship to the Bible prophecy and COVID-19 is, but nonetheless, I think it's Larry's always got some interesting opinions.
Well, here's the Bible often has some very good insights, whether you see it as the inspired Word of God or just great literature.
Well, it might have just been Isaiah talking about the invasion of Babylon. Who knows?
Yeah, well, history rhymes.
Yep.
So there's certain things that come in, but the coronavirus, where it gets its name, is from the shape of the virus itself. It's basically
like the corona of a sun.
Yeah, that's kind of how they got the name,
and that's probably how the beer where they got their name from too.
Well, corona means crown.
Right.
Now, an interest, as I said, if you're into the QAnon conspiracy stuff. I was listening to the X-22 report the other day, and
I know nothing of this stuff, but I like it.
But apparently the good guys are winning.
Winning what?
Well, like the deep state is being plowed under, and there's people, and there's a war going on, which I believe it's been going on for a while, but. The criminals,
I believe a deep state exists.
The criminal, yeah, but one of the theories is like the criminals of the deep state around the world and the globalists will start coming down with.
It's the globalists.
Well, the globalists, like the coronavirus being like the crown virus. You'll have like for example, the Pope apparently just got a cough, and apparently, like the minister.
Holy.
Well, one of the vice president or the not prime minister, but one of the bigwigs in Iran just died from it.
Yeah.
So there's a theory going out that's kind of like the symbolism there, and I don't know. But as far as the whole biblical thing goes, I mean, yeah, we're going through some pretty biblical times, but as I said, history rhymes. So,
is it really biblical, or is the reaction just biblical?
I think that history rhymes, as he says,
yes.
and that these sorts of things have gone on for a very long time. Yeah. That not to say that they've created viruses to go after the poor, but certainly those in power, the wealthy, and those in power used to always be the same. Now they're not exactly, right?
Yeah.
Bezos has power, but Bezos isn't the state, whereas the state was always the wealthy and vice versa throughout human history. And now, since the Industrial Revolution, we have some loss of parity in that area. But it's unlikely, say, in biblical times that they spread some kind of bioweapon, but they did take advantage of the poor whenever they could.
Well, you have had plagues. And I like the bubonic plague back in the I think it was at the 12 or 1300s.
Yep. Started by belief in Christianity. Those priests didn't like cats.
Well, actually, the plague started in China.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was brought to Europe through the ships, which they had the rats.
Yep.
And at the time when people were dropping dead, they thought it was the judgment day. They thought it was the end of the world.
Sure.
They thought Jesus was coming back.
Everybody thinks that's the case every time.
It's and I'm not saying that Jesus isn't coming back or he is.
The preterist Christians believe he came back in in the first century.
Well, the one thing I think all Christians really need to understand is that it says right there in the Bible, if you're going to believe in that book, that it says no man knows the time or the date. So when I see people on TV, like I used to watch Jack Van Impe because he had this crazy heat miser hair and anyway.
Meister.
Yeah. I mean,
Burgermeister.
But they had, they kept trying to set dates and it was wrong.
Oh, sure. I think we're always going to do that because setting dates is fun. And that's what people want to do. The number is 855-450-3733. If you know the date that the world is going to come to an end, call in so we can make fun of you. 855-450-FREE here on Free Talk Live. That's free as in freedom.
Are you afraid to go to the mailbox because of letter after letter from the IRS? Are they stacking on more and more penalties and interest? By now, you know the problem won't go away on its own. Don't let the IRS chase you to your grave with penalties and interest and liens and levies. You need real help now. I'm Dan Pilla. I wrote the book on tax debt settlement, and I help thousands of people solve tax problems they thought couldn't be solved. I can help you too. Call 800-34-NO-TAX or go to my website, danpilla.com. That's danpilla.com. danpilla.com.
Non-attorney paid spokesperson. Could your house go into foreclosure? Are you behind on your mortgage payments? Does it seem like the bank has no interest in helping you save your home? And you feel like you have nowhere to turn for help? Then we have good news for you. Foreclosure Protection Services can help save your home as they specialize in foreclosure assistance. That's all they do. If you're behind on your mortgage payments, being threatened with foreclosure, have been denied a loan modification, or been the victim of a predatory loan, it's critical that you call Foreclosure Protection Services now at 800-667-9035. Their network of attorneys and their agents are available to speak to you now. If you're behind on your mortgage payments, Foreclosure Protection Services can help stop the foreclosure process. Call today before it's too late. New laws are in effect that may save your home. Call Foreclosure Protection Services now at 800-667-9035. 800-667-9035. That's 800-667-9035.
Would you like to get back that full head of hair from years past? Now, there is Reveal. Beverly Hills celebrity dermatologist Dr. Nathan Newman took nearly a decade to develop Reveal from natural botanicals to return to a full-body head of hair. Reveal for men and women with a 30-day money-back guarantee at gcnlife.com or toll-free 844-443-6637. 844-443-6637. Reveal at gcnlife.com.
Uncovering the secrets and exposing the lies. That's what the readers of freedomsphoenix.com get every day. freedomsphoenix.com, constantly providing the information, the real news about government policies, and the real relationship we all have with the coercive government. The real condition of the economy, innovations in technology, breakthroughs in energy, health, and computer science. Learn the truth well before it's admitted to in the lamestream media. The corporate media, nothing more than distributors of government propaganda, but now there's an alternative. freedomsphoenix.com. Constant news updates on the issues that affect your life in the most important ways. With liberty and property under constant attack, freedomsphoenix.com provides the understanding behind the propaganda, and it encourages the participation of its readers. Go to freedomsphoenix.com. That's freedoms with an S, phoenix.com. freedomsphoenix.com. The revolution between the ears has already happened.
The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon. the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com. Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Call in, talk about whatever you want to talk about. It is Mark with you.
And Alex.
And David.
The number, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450 free on Free Talk Live. And I can tell you about Edge Wallet. Edge Wallet is, it's a cryptocurrency wallet, and it's the one that I use on a regular basis. Matter of fact, I believe I used it yesterday. So if you want to actually use your cryptocurrency and be able to, spend, receive, buy, sell, do your whole thing right in that one piece of software. Edge Wallet makes it easy. And you possess your cryptocurrency with the Edge Wallet. It's not some wallet where, like Coinbase is one that we could point out, where they hold your currency and you hope that they're still there, and Coinbase has been pretty successful at that. But there have certainly been some hacks at some exchanges, and people lose their cryptocurrency. Well, that really can't happen with the Edge Wallet. You have your username and password. If you drop your phone in the toilet, then you can go get a new phone, download the Edge Wallet, put your username and password in it, and it's all right there. So it's really awesome. Go check them out. Go to edge.app. That's edge.app. And download their wallet. Get some cryptocurrency. I believe we're going to see a new rise in cryptocurrency here in the relatively near future. But, hey, take that for what it's worth. It's just an opinion of a talk show host, one that's been right a few times on this particular subject. Nonetheless. So we were talking about the corona situation, and specifically I wanted to talk about eBay and Amazon going after price gougers. So it says here, headline from Daily Mail, Amazon bans 10,000 users for price gouging and moves 1 million products as sales of hand sanitizer rocket, with 2 bottles advertised for $120 amid coronavirus outbreak. And then the eBay one says, just the headline is, eBay bans all masks regardless of virus claims. This includes, besides price gouging, also some claims regarding, you can't make health claims about stuff. So, that's like the FDA kind of things. And I don't know what health claims were being made. Cure yourself with corona with a mask. I don't know. But to some extent, aren't we just sort of responsible as consumers? The idea that you get upset that somebody's trying to sell 2 bottles of hand sanitizer for $120. Like, here I was, ignorant of this knowledge for the last week, and somehow somebody was just outraged, right? It has probably disturbed their digestional regularity, right? Like, they probably lost some sleep. This person is really upset about the notion that somebody dared put a $120 price tag on 2 bottles of hand sanitizer.
I gotta laugh because I just saw something. Facebook's wonderful for just making you want to have the coronavirus succeed.
Yeah.
Because apparently
destroy humanity.
Somebody shared with me an article. It was a serious article. I can't remember what state it was, but I'm thinking it was like Washington or one of those hippy dippy states up there. It was like basically
Western Washington.
The police department there offered to test people's methamphetamine for coronavirus, and I'm thinking,
is that a way to catch meth users, or is that?
Come on, man. It's like if you're smoking meth, you got more problems than the coronavirus.
Indeed.
Yeah, but anyway,
so let's say that somebody is price gouging, right?
Yeah.
Now, we don't know. Price is this funny thing. People think it has something to do with what it costs to produce the item or what things have cost in certain circumstances. But we all know a bottle of water that's in a 30-pack at the grocery store costs significantly less than it does at the ball game at a Major League Baseball game.
Well,
right?
it's supply and demand is what it is.
That's what pricing is, supply and demand. And
Yes.
if the supply of hand sanitizer has somehow bottomed out in the United States or around the world, then the question you need to ask yourself is, do I wish to have the option of purchasing hand sanitizer or not? Because you can't choose what price somebody puts something at. You can only choose what price you buy it at. And that's the power of the consumer. So, if you've got a threshold for hand sanitizer that's $10 for 2 bottles, that'd be enough. Well, fine. Find the deal for that and then buy that, and hopefully you'll get it. But it's completely somebody's right to sell hand sanitizer for $120, 2 bottles. Now, let me give this example. We've all seen the Bugs Bunny cartoons. Bugs Bunny is going through the desert and, looking, water, right? We've seen it all. And you're looking for water in the desert. There's nobody around. Suddenly, somebody pops up over a dune, has a nice big bottle of water for you, but he wants to sell it for $150. Now, you're going to die in the next 2 or 3 dunes. Or you're going to pay 150 of these weird green pieces of paper for a bottle of water. That's your choice. Now, should he have to sell it at the price the grocery store has? No, man transported it out there. He took his time, took his energy. He has the bottle. It's his. I mean, I suppose you could try to kill him for it. That's another option. But you might as well just pay the $150 for the bottle of water, because otherwise you'll be dead and sanctimonious.
Well, that happened to me, almost not with water, but I was in the Persian Gulf. I was aboard the ship, and I ran out of clean T-shirts. And if you showed up on the bridge for watch and your T-shirt was dirty, you got chewed out. And with the ship store was out of T-shirts, and my job was particularly a dirty one, and I needed a T-shirt, and this jerk said,
a T-shirt.
I got a T-shirt, but it'll cost you $50.
$50.
And I handed over $50 for this Fruit of the Loom BVD or whatever it was, and I didn't get in trouble on watch. So it is what it is. It taught me an economic lesson, that's for sure.
Right. I mean, at some point in life, we all have to be taught this particular lesson about preparedness.
Yeah, but Petty Officer Anderson's going to hell for that. So.
And this is right. This is a moment in time for people to think about preparedness.
Yeah,
because nobody owes you hand sanitizer. Nobody owes you a mask. Nobody owes you food. Nobody owes you anything or price on any of those things. Nobody owes that to you. The fact that you were pushed out of a womb, which, by the way, is the most ordinary thing a human can do, right? It is not a human right to have hand sanitizer, ladies and gentlemen. So that's it. You've got... that's it. The hand sanitizer is that person's to sell at whatever price they wish. You don't like the price, move to the next auction. It's not your business.
Or get some knowledge and realize that I don't need to go buy Purell hand sanitizer. There are other things out there, like,
there's Alcohol,
yeah. Bottle of Jim Beam.
Right.
Worse
things could happen with that.
Yeah, but but you're talking about the human right. We have a human right to engage in voluntary commerce with each other.
Sure.
Without, and we have a right to.
Not in America, we don't.
Well, I mean,
apparently not.
Well,
right?
here's the thing. The question is, like, I think if you live in the People's Republic of China, you have the right to free speech and to keep and bear arms. It's just that their government there doesn't recognize that right and violates it. So it's kind of like it's a philosophical.
Having a right that is not recognized isn't very useful.
It's not, but it's true, I suppose. I mean, like, if your rights were given by God, and that's the premise that most people operate under for whatever reason, that God gave you the right. And whether someone chooses to recognize it or not, oftentimes that requires a certain level of struggle.
Yeah.
So, it's like the king in England. The son of the king somehow has his crown taken by his uncle. Mm. Well, history's just going to say the uncle got the crown unless the son comes along and raises an army and, kills the uncle and does those sorts of things.
Well, this goes back to the quote I made from Starship Troopers last week, that violence and force basically solve just about everything. It's what it's all about. It's like basically, it's not who has the gold rules. It's who has the guns rules or the sword or whatever or the will. And people don't want to acknowledge that.
Yeah, I do believe that. Although I'm not of the opinion that guns are the thing. The Second Amendment. Some people hold up the Second Amendment as the most important amendment. And that sort of thing. I don't do that. However, I'm of the opinion that guns are the indication of a free person.
Right.
If you can have a gun, then you're probably.
But
free.
It's not even just a gun. It's the ability to project power.
855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. Free Talk Live.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
Do you want to work from home, get paid, and forward liberty all at the same time? Free Talk Live is looking for account executives and appointment setters. If you've got a phone, a computer, internet connectivity, initiative, and a belief in the non-aggression principle, you're qualified. Earn up to $85,000 a year full-time, $25,000 a year part-time. Set your own hours, work from home, spread freedom. Join our team and work with one of the biggest leaders in the liberty movement. Apply now at sales.freetalklive.com. Sales.freetalklive.com.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,641, silver at $17.23, and Bitcoin is trading around $8,779. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD, at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of Kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free Kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at SNLSnetwork.com. In the news, Cibola County, New Mexico Sheriff Tony Mace says he and other sheriffs from around the state are meeting with attorneys this week as they get ready to file suit over the state's new red flag law, signed last week by the governor. During the signing ceremony, the governor said that sheriffs who aren't prepared to enforce the new law should resign. But Sheriff Mace and other sheriffs are taking the matter to court instead. Mace said that the sheriffs will be holding meetings with several different attorneys over the next few weeks to discuss litigation strategies before filing suit to block the law from taking effect. Activist Post reports that in addition to the constitutional issues at stake, there's also the pragmatic argument against red flag laws. As Sheriff Mace points out, when someone has been deemed by a court to be a danger to themselves or others, the law gives the individual in question 48 hours to turn over their guns. And of course, once the firearms are seized, the dangerous person is left to their own devices. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis declared a public health emergency this week after 2 people in the state tested positive for coronavirus. One of the sick residents is an adult with no clear link to the countries where the virus is widespread, leading some to believe there are many other cases and carriers in the state that have not yet been tested. The Mind Unleashed reports health officials are also putting contacts of those patients into quarantine as a matter of precaution because the virus is so contagious. One of the people in quarantine for that reason happens to be a student whose classmates shook hands with Vice President Mike Pence last week. On Friday, just days after being named by Donald Trump as the head of the Outbreak Response Task Force, Pence was at a Sarasota Military Academy in Florida, shaking hands with cadets and posing for photographs. The student, who was at risk, was in quarantine and not at the event with Pence. But a coronavirus patient was mere points of unprotected contact away from the President of the United States. Amazon says it has pulled more than 1 million products for price gouging or for falsely advertising effectiveness against the coronavirus. Activist Post reports the company in a statement said that it has always required sellers provide accurate information on product pages and removes those that violates its policies. Amazon said that third-party sellers must follow its fair pricing policy, which states companies can't set a price significantly higher than seen in other places, or sell an item that misleads customers. The removal comes after Wired found sellers gouging the prices of coronavirus-related products, like face masks, or charging people exorbitant shipping costs, according to the magazine. In one instance, the publication found a seller with face masks for as much as 5 times their normal price. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
A report confirms that many Iraqis are still holding a petty grudge about the U.S. invasion. An advanced alien civilization discovers an uninhabitable planet, and a single woman has a Facebook profile picture with her sister. This is the Onion Week in Review. A groundbreaking study published Monday in the Journal of the American Medical Association confirmed that it is impossible to lose weight. No one has ever done it, and those who are trying should give up immediately. Researchers said that findings conclusively prove that shedding excess weight has never happened, changing your physical appearance is impossible, and that all sorts of exercise exercises, personal training regimens, and diets will never, ever work.
Well, our test results conclusively prove that if you're going to the gym to lose weight, you will fail. You could work out every day and eat nothing, and you still wouldn't lose an ounce. Skinny people will stay skinny. Overweight people will be overweight. That's just how it is.
In other news, an area man is outraged his private information is being collected by someone other than advertisers. And a crowd cheers as this 93-year-old up finally graduates from college.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Talk Live kicking off another hour from the U.S. Mariana Islands. It is Mark with you.
And Alex.
And Dave.
And you can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That's what we do here on Free Talk Live. That's the whole point. That's why we get on the air, is to take your calls. The number, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE, as in freedom. And we spent most of the first hour talking about the coronavirus and that sort of thing. So, any wrap-up thoughts on that, guys?
Well, I was just thinking to myself that, you get 3,000 people dead from the coronavirus and everybody wants to wear a mask, yet you got 30 million people in the world with HIV and it's hard to get people to wear rubbers. So it's...
Perhaps that's a relevant point. Put your masks on, people.
and then one other thing, too, and this is my favorite theory about how it got started. There was a manager of the biolab was arrested for selling the laboratory animals to the local meat market, and I think they missed an opportunity. They could have had it marketed as Reese's Pieces.
Do they have Reese's monkeys there? I don't know.
I don't know. I just thought it was gross.
I did get to meet a lady here who had been hiking in the Wuhan province and got bit by a monkey. Wow. I think that's one of the best little sentences I've heard in some time. I was hiking in Wuhan and got bit by a monkey.
Well, I actually ate monkey once when I was in the Philippines. Somebody was giving me some meat, and it was weird. It tasted kind of like pork, but so I've eaten monkey.
Oh.
And that's when I first came up with the Reese's Pieces gag.
little bits of it. Got a story here. This doesn't really affect the folks in the Marianas, but it does affect lots of people in the United States. So an Idaho lawmaker introduces a bill to repeal property taxes statewide. One Idaho lawmaker wants to make property taxes a thing of the past. Says, whatever. This guy, Jason Monks, is the assistant majority leader in the state house and wants to completely eliminate property taxes but raise the state's sales tax by over 5%. Monk wants to do away with the entire thing, so he introduced the House bill, whatever. So I think that different taxes have sort of different levels of immorality, for instance. And I think property tax is an indication that you don't own your property. The serfs in the time of the nobles were given a little piece of land that they could, farm and do those sorts of things. It was theirs in so much as they could keep the other serfs off that particular land, should they wish. But it wasn't theirs in so much as they could keep all the fruits of their labor, because the noble demanded something called quit rents.
Mm-hmm. Are you calling the American people tax serfs?
They are precisely that. And that's because if you think you own your land, try not paying the rent on that land the property taxes to the government for a few years and see what your ownership of that property looks like. Yep. Because an owner can't have it taken away. Here on the Marianas, some people are able to own property in a manner called fee simple. Now, fee simple isn't the level of a lodial title. A lodial title is reserved for the noble and the governments. But it is a higher form of ownership than the kind of titling that goes on in the United States, where you have to pay a property tax. So I just kind of wanted to throw it out. What do you guys think about sales tax versus property tax here? It's one bill you don't have to pay, but there's more There's a bigger bill when you go to the, buy the plastic crap at Walmart.
Well, in the Constitution, the only taxes actually mentioned are duties and excises from,
But that's for the
tariffs.
feds.
Yeah.
It speaks to the taxes for the feds. This is generally going to be a local, statewide tax, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what goes on.
I would say that sales tax is probably the most ethical tax, right? The idea is that they're building the roads, right? That's what who would build the roads?
That with the gas tax, which I consider to be the most ethical tax, and here's why.
And that's a sales tax, right?
It is it is, but it's a specific one. I'd like to point out that there is a recreational vehicle fuel that if you don't use the roads, you can buy this fuel, and it's not available at every gas station, but some of them have it. And or it's for farm vehicles or that kind of thing. So you can buy that fuel, and if you're not going to use their roads, then you don't have to pay their tax on it. Now, normally, if I'm filling up the lawnmower, I'm not going to drive farther to get 1 gallon of gas. I'm willing to pay the tax for the lawnmower's gas. But if I was running a tractor all day, then I'd certainly want to get my diesel and not pay tax on it. Go ahead.
But sales tax connects the services provided with the revenue generation to the closest extent possible. When you're engaging in commerce, the government is most likely involved somehow. Whether it's the roads, the law enforcement, the fire protection, it generally relates to commerce in some way, shape, or form. Where owning the land, what is the government doing for that land? Probably nothing.
Right. If
Getting
I put
in
a
the
house,
way,
the weirdest thing is that I got a piece of land, right? And I'm getting taxed $100 a year on the land. Well, I put a house on the land, and suddenly my tax goes to $1,000 a year. The government has done nothing. Mm-hmm. And I actually had this happen. I'm building a house, and now the value of the land is going up. And they had the audacity to come out when I was halfway through the project, and then begin the taxation process on a half-built house. I'm like, I haven't even moved into this thing, and you want to tax me on it? And they're like, yep. I'm like, get out. And I ran them off. But they don't. They just wanted to look through. They
usually use property taxes for schools, I think.
Sure.
You can use any tax for anything.
But, what if you don't have children? That's...
Or what if you're never going to send your kid to a government school?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
My son has had, on the property he's lived on, taxes have been excised to send other people's kids to school. In many cases, kids that were driven to school in much nicer vehicles that he gets driven around in. And, they're just taking money that could have been used for his education. Mm-hmm. And sending it to other people's kids. That's just theft, ladies and gentlemen. That's just all that is. That is the teachers' union has figured out how to muscle in theft.
Well, I've come to the conclusion that governments are nothing but a mafia with good public relations.
That they got flags. It's really important.
Well, it's good public relations. I mean, you look at it. It's like what is a government? It's a group of people that enforce their will on others.
That is fundamentally what they do, indeed. And, so, I kind of think this is interesting, this Idaho lawmaker choosing to get rid of property taxes. I hate property taxes. I don't know which ones. At one point in my life, I would have said that it was it was the most moral form of tax, simply because, then the landowners and I don't know exactly what. But
it is somewhat efficient, right? A land value tax has some potential from an economic perspective. But if you're looking at it from an ethical taxation and stuff perspective, obviously it can't be justified.
Well, I don't think we can. Right. We live in a world where, for whatever reason, people accept the notion that, taxes are okay. I don't get it. Whenever I hear somebody online arguing against taxation being theft, they always come up with some kind of pragmatic argument. Well, without taxes, how would we build the roads? Well, I didn't ask you that, because they used to say, when black people were slaves in the United States, how will we pick the cotton? Is that an acceptable statement, ladies and gentlemen? How will we pick the cotton? I mean, if I wandered around today and every time I saw a black person, I'm like, I wonder how we pick the cotton. The people would think I was stupid and crazy.
Well, I believe in the Dred Scott decision, Justice Taney said, well, them robes ain't gonna wash themselves.
And so a pragmatic response to taxation as theft is simply, it doesn't make any sense. You know, if it's a moral argument that taxation is theft, you need to make a moral rebuttal that somehow taxation isn't theft. I'd love to hear that, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm completely befuddled. I don't even get the argument on the other side. So if you know the argument on the other side, or perhaps you even want to make the argument on the other side, the number is 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE here on Free Talk Live.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynovite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynovite.
Everything we tried failed except the Dynovite.
Pick up 2 bottles of Super Mega Fish Oil.
Get the 3rd bottle free. Packed with omega-3, DHA, and EPA fatty acids.
Super Mega is great for your dog's immune system, healthy skin, and soft, shiny fur.
Dogs love it. Try Super Omega Fish Oil.
Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynovite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone, you forgot to download our archive, and you have no data connection? You can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live Listen line, 641-793-0191. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Call in. about whatever is on your mind. It is Mark with you.
And Alex.
Dave. Whoops. Do it again.
Alex.
And Dave.
There we go. 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE here on Free Talk Live. And you can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. Are you sure that you're going to have a great retirement? Or do you have some doubts? Because in my family, we've taken some steps. And those steps, they started quite some time ago. It takes a little bit of time to build these things up. But we instituted what Tom Young, the author and founder of CFO Project, has proposing here, and how you could be debt-free in 9 years or less. We did it in less, and that included our mortgage without spending a single dollar more. And you can do it too. Instead of building a plan, Tom will show you how to create strategies now. Now, this wasn't the sum total of what we did, but it was part of what we did, an important part of what we did. And with his book, he can show you how to save money without penalties and as little government involvement as possible. His new book, The Family Money Farm, the CFO Project, will show you how to build wealth and eliminate debt all at the same time. And you can get for free online at cfo-project.com. That's cfo-project.com. Invest in yourself and your family today. You won't regret it. Get your free copy of The Family Money Farm, the CFO Project, at cfo-project.com. And we talk about it quite a bit here on the online, because here on the show, because it's important, I think, for you to take control of your family's wealth. There's an Idaho lawmaker, and frankly, another one in another place, North Dakota. He wants the voters to decide if they should abolish property taxes and replace the revenue with other sources, including an oil tax from the legacy fund. So these lawmakers are getting the idea of getting rid of property tax. Now, if you're sitting in Long Island right now and you're paying $30,000 a year in property tax, you can't imagine how the government can somehow function without property taxes. But a lot of places, property taxes are extraordinarily low and probably not worth the time and energy they put into, putting these pieces of paper out, mailing them, all that other stuff. Some people there are people paying right now in the United States for a house with a property with a house on it, a domicile on it, less than $300. So, you got to wonder sometimes if it's even worth it. So I guess my question is that although I'm of the opinion all taxes are, theft, except for gasoline taxes, I'll make the argument that those are voluntary because the gas station can choose whether or not to sell gas. So that's a decision. And they can choose, and the consumer can choose whether or not to buy gas that will be used on the road. Now, obviously, if you go to the recreational vehicle pump and get fuel that is intended to not be used on the road, and you pump it into your car right there, you're going to obviously be violating some rule. But, the roads have to get paid for in some manner, and you're clearly using them if you're using the vehicle, you're pumping into the vehicle. So, I guess that to me, that's the most effective way to do it. So gas tax, I'm going to call voluntary, and that's the only tax I'm willing to call that. And it's only because you have the option of buying another fuel that isn't, taxed. But property tax, to me, means that you're a vassal of the Lord, and you don't really own your property, and I consider that a bad thing. Sales tax. Well, how am I going to do? How are you going to do business and not collect sales tax? So that's obviously a form of theft. Whatever. But which one is the worst, the best, the most effective, the easiest to implement? These kind of things, because we do live in a world where taxes exist. Any thoughts on this, Alex?
Yeah. So I would say the key to look at with everything is incentives. So let's take out the ethics. I don't think the average person cares about taxation being theft or any of that. They're interested in, how do I get the most bang for my buck and make society as wealthy and prosperous as possible? That I think many people could get behind. So the question is, how do you do that? Well,
I would say that governments are poor organizations to give money to and expect to get the best bang for your buck.
Well, on the whole incentive thing, you've never gone to customs to pick up a box of cigars that was a birthday present for you. that your brother paid $75 for, and then they charge you $160 tax.
God.
You know, I mean, there are certain taxes here that they call sin taxes, which I really just it irks me. It goes back to the whole Bloomberg, banning big gulp kind of Big Brother crap into your life, and so they have these different taxes on things like alcohol, yet we have more people becoming alcoholics every year than...
Right. If the sin tax is intended to prevent alcoholism on this particular island, it is failing.
Yeah. Or
they need to raise it.
Smoking or taxes on cigarettes. I mean, it's like, most people who want to smoke are gonna smoke, and the fact of the matter is the same thing with marijuana or any other substance.
Yeah, once you tax it sufficiently.
Are you saying the vice taxes don't work, or that they don't work well enough?
No, I'm saying that the vice taxes are a load of malarkey made up by a bunch of people who think they can be your nanny, and they just don't understand that, hey, there's a supply and there's a demand. It's the same thing with, the whole war on drugs. I mean, I'm sorry, people want to get high. And back in the day, Thomas Edison was a full-blown coke fiend, but he was productive and didn't bother anybody. But, same thing with Sigmund Freud.
I don't think there was a problem.
Yeah,
Probably. It wasn't even illegal.
Yeah, I mean, there were a whole bunch of people throughout history that, did drugs, and because it wasn't like the cause celeb at the time, they just said, oh, yeah, well, he likes his nose candy. And then,
Edgar Allan Poe was most likely an opium addict.
Yep. So
I have a confession. I quit smoking cigars when Obama in 2009 implemented the tax that was supposed to go to Children's Hospital or something like that.
Yeah.
But this particular sin tax on cigars stopped me from smoking. I began taking Chantix, and then it was effective. If the goal was to prevent some people from smoking, it was me, right? Because I know that money's fungible, and every dollar the government takes for the general fund to help kids in hospitals, it takes money out of the general fund to buy guns to buy bombs to kill people's kids in foreign countries.
Yeah.
So I can't participate in that. If I'd have known how to grown my own tobacco, or they'd have had vapes or whatever back then, maybe I would have switched. But at the time, I just quit.
Yeah.
So I'd push back a little bit. So we're taking out the ethics aside, purely just pragmatism. So if the government has to raise a certain amount of revenue, is it better that they raise it on people doing things that lower productivity, or on people doing things that increase productivity? Is it better to tax business and people?
One could argue that cocaine made Thomas Edison more productive.
And how many is cocaine?
Nikola Tesla got his inspiration from God.
I'm not advocating drug use, by the way.
I'm not coming down either side in the Tesla Edison debate. Edison was huge on intellectual property, which I disagree with. So I guess I'm Tesla.
Edison was a jerk.
855-450-3733.
I want to tell you about my favorite cryptocurrency wallet, Edge Wallet, at edge.app. Edge is the wallet I use more than any other, and that was true long before Edge Wallet became a sponsor of Free Talk Live. Edge Wallet allows you to buy, sell, trade, and securely hold your cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, tokens, Monero, Ripple, Dash, Bitcoin Cash, and more. It's available for both Android and iOS, and you can download it via the Play or App Store or via Edge Wallet's website, edge.app. Secure your freedom with Edge Wallet.
Don't miss this year's LibertyCon with great speakers like Whole Foods CEO John Mackey, Congressman Justin Amash, and Nobel Prize winner Vernon Smith. Attend 2 spectacular debates. Is government necessary, and does capitalism require government intervention? Network with over 70 pro-liberty organizations. This and a whole lot more. April the 3rd through the 5th in Washington, D.C. Visit libertycon.com and use code FTL for a $10 discount on libertycon.com.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing. To be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
I just heard the best sales pitch I've heard in a long time on an airplane. The flight attendant announced, "If you paid more than $75 for your round-trip ticket, you overpaid." This is brilliant because everybody on the flight paid more, and I was struck by how all the road warriors stopped typing and reading and working and looked up. The announcement invited us to apply for the airline's credit card, and the sign-up bonus, enough frequent flyer miles for a free round trip. Talk about turning lemons into lemonade. With some banks offering free credit cards, $75 is an outrage for an annual fee, but a bargain for airline tickets. For more tips on communicating more effectively, hit survivalspeech.com, where you can see how I got the CEO of another major airline to shower me with freebies. I'm Holland Cook.
Now you can follow LRN.FM on the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm.
Talk Live. Call in. Talk about whatever is on your mind. It is Mark with you.
And Alex.
And Dave.
855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. You can call in and talk about anything that we've talked about this evening, or anything else for that matter. That's what we do here on Free Talk Live. Talked about the coronavirus and biblical prophecy. Now we're talking about the morality of property tax sort of relative to the other taxes out there. And, I don't think any of us are going to come down on the side of taxes being moral, but at the very least, you can sort of talk about them being relative or efficient and these sorts of things. Speaking of efficiency, I want to talk about a new cryptocurrency on the scene, Divi, D-I-V-I. And they're bringing out their next generation wallet here in the near future. In just a few taps, you'll be able to spend, earn, store, and exchange digital money in seconds. They make it easy for you, so you'll be able to send money around the globe with only a swipe and instantly exchange between Divi, D-I-V-I, Bitcoin, and government currencies right there in the mobile app, and withdraw directly to your bank account. Their intention is to make it easy, and they already have the easiest masternodes out there. They've got a multi-tiered system, so you can get a masternode with a small amount of Divi or with a large amount of Divi, and it allows anyone to earn Divi by supporting the Divi network. You just go there with their with the new Divi wallets that launched because of Divi's relationship with Western Union. They'll be in 200 countries, including the United States. You can learn more about all of this and more at diviproject.org, D-I-V-I, diviproject.org. So, Alex, you were talking about your thoughts on the morality of certain tax schemes.
Yeah, I like to focus more on the pragmatism, right?
Yes.
We've already established morality or
Right.
the lack of. So let's just pretend you have a new country, a new territory just created. You need to raise revenue for something. How do you set it up so it has maximum benefit and minimum downside? So
Piracy.
Yep.
I would say the first tax you want is a land value tax. So there's a difference between property tax and land value tax.
Okay.
The land value tax just taxes the pure raw land.
Right.
So
okay.
if you build a skyscraper in this new hypothetical city or country, that would not be taxed, only the underlying land.
So let me ask you this about that. So land is relative based on a few things, location being one of them, right? And so every piece of land has a monopoly on its location.
Yes.
It's, there's that gas station there's 4 gas stations on a corner. One of them's on the good corner. And nobody can even tell why it's a good corner, but there's that good corner one. Or, for instance, a piece of property in downtown Manhattan, the same size property in upstate New Hampshire or on Saipan or wherever is Sarasota, Florida, is all going to be different. So, there's the view, these sorts of things. How do you determine the value of the land?
I don't think that's a huge problem. There's many different systems you could do. It could be the price you paid. You can also have a system where you determine the price yourself, but the government has the right to buy it back, or we could say the private owner of this private territory.
That's a very interesting way to do it.
Has the right to buy it back.
That's how you know how much something's worth. Is you
Yes.
just say, okay, you name the price, and I'll either tax you on that price or I'll buy it from you.
There's a way around that.
Let's hear it.
On paper, the value is $1, but then you give the guy $50,000, without it being written down. It's
say the government says, what's the price of your land?
If you ship things, for example, and they have here in the CNMI, we have customs separate from U.S. customs, right?
Right.
So, let's say you are shipping a piece of equipment. I'm just saying a hypothetical, not saying that this actually happens, wink, wink. You're shipping a piece of equipment from Guam to Saipan.
Yep.
Okay, Customs wants to take a wet bite out of your butt on that. And so basically a way around that is saying, oh, well, this drill bit or whatever piece of equipment it is, the value of it is $1.
And so then in this system, the government customs could say, all right, we'll buy it for $1.
That would get people to immediately start raising prices because they don't want to they don't want to sell their valuable thing for $1.
So this goes
but I've
back
done that with used cars.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is I think when you do stuff like that, it incentivizes dishonesty. It incentivizes people. It's like this. I think there's a certain reasonable amount one could tax. But then when you take it on the value as it's like it's like one of these things where I think the more you tax people, the more likely they are going to try to find ways of cheating on their taxes.
Oh,
right,
agreed.
which is why I'm designing.
So after a land value tax, what do you think is the next thing to throw in? Because I think that there's some arguments for the government actually owning the land. Let's take, for instance, you had mentioned in the break the Louisiana Purchase. The United States government bought Louisiana, bought Alaska, bought a bunch of things. I mean, how can an individual who has land in those particular areas really claim that they own it?
Yeah.
Well, I think the government could probably make a lot of money by selling its public lands to people.
I think they certainly could.
I mean, that's one way of generating revenue, and I don't see why the government should really own.
Well, why sell when you can lease?
Well,
and that's sort of what they do, right?
Yeah. Well, Mike. Well, the question again it comes down to is what is government? Is if it's truly there to serve the people, then how can we justify a lot of the government taking from us? And it's kind of funny. You bring up the Bible, the biblical prophecy thing. One of my favorite books is Samuel.
Yep, Samuel is a great one.
And action and adventure in there. But like the people of Israel were clamoring for a king.
Everybody else has one. Why don't we?
And then Samuel comes up and says, "Yeah, you know what would happen if you have a king?
He's going to take your sons for his army and his daughters for his harem, and you
tax your land. He'll basically do what governments do.
Yep.
And and it's like, wow. I mean, in that case, the Bible's actually kind of a libertarian book if you look at it that way.
Certainly, that verse in Samuel is used by a lot of libertarians,
and that's why I say the government is all the government is doing is charging you protection money, man. It's a mafia. Hey, nice homestead you have. It'd be a shame if something happened to it.
Yeah, I agree with your point that this is what the state is doing. But I think it's an error to think that you could ever get rid of some sort of hierarchy. There's always going to be a landowner,
not in the short term at the very least,
and the rule setter.
Well, it's like this. Well, here's the thing, though. I think maybe we should just be more realistic about the way we teach our children about government, and basically instead of this.
Oh, you mean the teachers that teach them?
High and mighty, this high and mighty, like it just say, hey, look, it's a necessary evil, and we just got to deal with it because this is how things happen. Like, for example.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. That's a necessary evil.
We need an army. I'm not going to fight against that idea. Actually, the Constitution, we have a full-time Navy, and our Army is only supposed to be part-time.
Right.
But we need a way of collective defense, and I'm willing to go in and chip in my $1.05 that freedom costs. But it's from a song from Team America. Well, but the thing about sitting there and acting like taxes are in some way moral, I don't know. I
certainly don't think that it's moral. But I think that to some extent. That taxation.
You're going to need to generate revenue, right? Yeah. You can have a private society, and you're going to still have a government. It's completely voluntary. You choose to move. Say we build an island in the ocean, we dump a bunch of sand, we dredge it up, we have an island. We can say, if you want to live here, you have to pay these fees to live here.
Well, that'd be more like a corporation, which is, but
like a cruise ship.
Yeah.
And I'm not against that.
And in that system, you need to find revenue sources that have maximum effect with minimum cost.
The number, 855-450-3733. Be interested in your input on this particular conversation, too. 855-450, free as in Free Talk Live.
If you have diabetes and you're on Medicare, Medicaid, or have private insurance, you may qualify for a new continuous glucose monitor. Managing your diabetes is crucial to your health. The new CGM can automatically and easily help you manage your diabetes more effectively. And by using a CGM, you can eliminate the one thing most people with diabetes dislike the most: finger sticks. Now you can automatically manage your diabetes and end the painful finger sticks. Solara Medical Supplies makes it simple for you to have a new CGM. We'll do all the insurance paperwork for you and deliver the newest in diabetic care technology right to your door. Take charge of your diabetes today with the help of a new continuous glucose monitor. Call now to learn more. 800-547-5331. 800-547-5331. 800-547-5331. That's 800-547-5331.
Message and data rates may apply. Individual results vary. Exclusions apply.
Contacts and glasses are such a hassle. I'd love to finally get LASIK, but
I'm going to stop you right there. If you want LASIK, then the LASIK Vision Institute has officially taken away everything standing in your way.
Isn't LASIK expensive?
Not at the LASIK Vision Institute. We're offering dramatically low prices and an absolutely free consultation. See for free if LASIK is right for you by texting DO88 to 350350.
But I'm really busy.
A text only takes seconds, and the LASIK procedure typically only takes 15 minutes. And best of all, most patients can get back to work the following day.
I had no idea.
The LASIK Vision Institute uses the latest FDA-approved LASIK technology that helps the majority of patients achieve 20/20 vision. We've performed over 1.3 million procedures. That's experience you can trust. And we're offering 20% off our already low-cost services.
What's that text again?
Text DO88 to 350350. That's DO88 to 350350 to schedule your free consultation today.
Free Talk Live.
The idea that politicians are leaders, check your premises on that one.
Cutting proof.
Really? Would you really follow Barack Obama or George Bush? Would you really follow their every command? Would you follow their suggestions? Do you believe that politicians are somehow more knowledgeable than you are? That politicians are of a special group of people? They're a special little critter that for some reason is more enlightened or educated? Constantly you can hear talking heads refer to the authorities or our leaders in Washington, and it's just patently absurd. I mean, these people are failures at life. That's why they became politicians.
Right. There's so many of them are attorneys. The good attorneys make a
money.
whole bunch of money and retire with yachts. The unsuccessful ones go into politics.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
Talk Live. Call in, talk about whatever's on your mind. Mark with you. One of you guys.
Alex.
And Dave.
855-450-3733. Got a labor dispute going on here on the air. Can't get everybody to get on the page. You having some headphone problems there, Dave?
Not anymore.
Okay.
Now I am.
Thanks for fixing it, Alex.
It's okay.
855-450-3733. LibertyCon, 27 days. Well, 28. You pick. Somewhere between 27 and 28 days till the beginning of LibertyCon. Ian and I are going to be heading down there representing Free Talk Live. There's going to be lots of great events going on, including some pretty awesome debates and the biggest names and, everything you want to see in a Liberty event. And the prices are so low. If you're in the immediate vicinity, I highly recommend coming out and seeing big names like Steve Forbes, Congressman Justin Amash, John Mackey, Miriam Issa. The list goes on. I like to mention my good friend Titus Gables, who will be there, and just a whole big star-studded list. And there's the great debates between David Friedman and, oh gosh, what's this guy's name? Timothy Sandiford. Sorry, Timothy, adjunct scholar at the Cato Institute. And they're going to be debating whether government is necessary. So interesting things going on. LibertyCon.com. Come out and join us. I know that, frankly, it's a great opportunity to do a thank you for the AMP program. So amplifiers like Vaginitarian. I don't know her real name, and I'm sure Ian always throws this on my night, so I have to say Vaginitarian. But thanks, Vaginitarian and Taco Nick, for your donations to the AMP program, and they're going to be there. So I'm excited to meet listeners, and I'll be excited to meet you, too. Come on down. It's libertycon.com. Get your tickets. I think if you use coupon code FTL, you'll save some money, save $10. It's a great deal. It's all very low price. LibertyCon.com. Love to see you there. So we were talking, Alex, about the sort of relative practicality of certain types of taxes, and you had some thoughts, and I want to make sure you get your time to discuss that.
Yeah, so land value is my number one, I would say, in terms of improving the system. If we're talking about we're in the existing world, taxes are unethical, but we have to live in the reality we live in. Let's switch from property. For those of you that have it, keep in mind in the Northern Mariana Islands, we don't have those property tax things. We have freedom. But for the rest of the country who suffers under the tyranny of property tax, it might be beneficial to propose your local region switch to land value tax. Because the problem with property tax over land value is property taxes the improvement of land. Do you want
which I just hate.
Do you want empty land, or do you want land to have ranches and houses and schools and other buildings? So it's counterproductive to tax people improving land. It just encourages hoarding because it lowers your tax burden.
Yeah, if somebody wants to have their land that's unimproved, for people can hike on it or do whatever they want to do, I don't think they should have to pay, frankly, anything for that, because that's the problem there is that just means that somebody's going to sell it to somebody else. And if you want to have a situation like the Nature Conservancy, right, the Ducks Unlimited, these organizations own land, and part of their whole shtick is we don't have to pay property taxes on this because we're a not-for-profit. Well, why shouldn't I as an individual be able to do that too? Like, I'm just going to leave my land undeveloped, and I don't know. Those are some of my thoughts on that subject.
Well, another question is like, can you tax the air? Can you tax the ocean? I mean, there's value like going out fishing, or how about the corridors in which airliners fly? Like if an airliner flies over my house,
right?
Are they on my property?
Should they be taxed? Yeah.
Should. So there's a couple of questions I have about that.
Well, the government certainly taxes fishers, and they certainly tax airlines. So
yes,
yeah,
but they tax them based on their property, which they claim that yours stops at a certain height above your house or wherever, and a certain depth beneath it. Some places you really have nothing below the ground. You can put a foundation on it. You may even be able to dig a basement, but we've got the mineral rights.
Yeah.
So. What are the other sort of taxes? Your thoughts on these as far as relative?
Yeah, so I'd say income tax is probably the worst tax because
it's an inefficient mess. I mean, my wife and I, because we have our own business, have had more than 100 pages. My wife has spent more than 40 hours in a week, in a year. 40 hours in a year. That's a full week's work doing our income tax for 1 year. That's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, and does that even factor in the week-to-week, month-to-month accounting costs? Probably not.
I think it does. I think she just put the receipts in an envelope and then did it all at once.
Okay.
But yes,
for most
you're right.
people.
There are companies out there that have rooms full of people, buildings full of people accounting for stuff so that they can do their taxes, so that the government can get its money.
Well, it's a whole industry.
Yeah, it is. It's involuntary servitude, and that's outlawed by the 13th Amendment. And I think that income tax, as it exists today in the United States, is an abhorrent to freedom.
Yeah, I totally agree. In addition, the incentive is terrible. The more you work, the more money you pay in most countries because they like progressive income taxes. Oh, we're progressive.
Right.
So
and
we
also
punish you for success. That's
the
what
thing I like about it,
progressivism
though, is that if you choose not to pay it, you just don't have to. My business partner, Ian, one of the main host of the show, he hasn't paid income tax in years. And the worst thing that had happened to him was the IRS sent him a letter in Spanish trying to update their file on him. I mean, just doesn't pay. So some people choose not to pay, and I mean, every once in a while they grab a Wesley Snipes and shake him in front of you and say, see what happens if you're black and you don't pay taxes, like this guy in Laurel Hill.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about Laurel Hill as a young black man?
I know about Wesley Snipes, but that's about as far as it goes.
Man, you've got to listen. Anyway.
Yeah, so income tax is terrible. I think consumption tax are much better because it connects the activity, right? That's where the government is, in theory, providing the legal services, roads, and everything else. So to connect the taxes with that makes sense, where you could conceivably be earning income without using any roads, any courts, anything. I mean, for us Americans, we get taxed no matter where we live. We don't even have to be in the country. We could have never set foot in America. But if our parents were Americans and we inherited the citizenship, we owe taxes to the IRS. But in the sales tax system, that's not possible, right? So I have a preference for sales tax. In addition, I also think you can only spend so much money. Hopefully, your consumption is below your income, and thus there's a cap on how much you can spend.
What about a VAT versus a sales tax? So a sales tax happens at the in the United States, a sales tax happens at the end of the manufacturing process when it's items up for sale at a retail situation, and it is generally noted on the bill. So you buy a 99-cent can of Coca-Cola. Can you believe that? I mean, I remember buying cans of Coca-Cola for 25 cents. A 99-cent can of Coca-Cola, and you pay $1.09 or whatever for it, depending on what the level of taxation is there. And you see the tax right at the register. Versus a VAT, which would say the price of this is presumably $1.09. Mind you, the fact that they can hide it means that they then go and
jack it up.
Yeah, jack it up. So. Yeah. You pay your $1.20 for the can of Coke, and you never know how much of it was tax.
Yeah.
And, so they do that in Europe.
Well, here's another question about the tax debate that I always like. People like Ron Paul mention it, is maybe we shouldn't be spending this much money.
Oh, yes.
Maybe we wouldn't need all these dang taxes if we didn't, I don't know, start wars that don't benefit us. Don't have programs to count like how many female chickens are in a whatever. I mean, there's a whole bunch of crazy stuff the government does that.
Most of the debt the United States had, almost all the debt that the United States had up until the 90s, you could directly attribute to wars. Basically, it was World War I, World War II, a little bit going on in those other conflicts. But then in the 90s, they started being some more things. And I'm going to presume it's Medicare, which was never funded properly in the first place.
Yeah.
The people who were getting Medicare paid in 25 cents at the start of it all. We're paying in 25 cents and receiving $1. And that's not a system that's going to work.
What about interest paid to the Federal Reserve?
Yeah, well, without a debt, you wouldn't have to have those things. But that's getting piled in, too. 855-450-3733. Mostly our taxes pay that. The interest on the loan.
Yeah.
855-450 free here on Free Talk Live. Your thoughts on this are welcome.
You can be the smartest person in the room on the topic of the Constitution if you watch this free webinar. Liberty First University is online training on the principles of liberty and the origin, proper application, and defense of our founding documents and the principles they contain. You will receive an education worthy of the highest institutions of learning, as if the founders were teaching it. Join us at lfu.freetalklive.com to watch the free pre-recorded webinar. Watch now at lfu.freetalklive.com.
Do you want to work from home, get paid, and forward liberty all at the same time? Free Talk Live is looking for account executives and appointment setters. If you've got a phone, a computer, internet connectivity, initiative, and a belief in the non-aggression principle, you're qualified. Earn up to $85,000 a year full-time, $25,000 a year part-time. Set your own hours, work from home, spread freedom. Join our team and work with one of the biggest leaders in the liberty movement. Apply now at sales.freetalklive.com. Sales.freetalklive.com.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,641, silver at $17.23, and Bitcoin is trading around $8,779. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, Cibola County, New Mexico Sheriff Tony Mace says he and other sheriffs from around the state are meeting with attorneys this week as they get ready to file suit over the state's new red flag law, signed last week by the governor. During the signing ceremony, the governor said that sheriffs who aren't prepared to enforce the new law should resign. But Sheriff Mace and other sheriffs are taking the matter to court instead. Mace said that the sheriffs will be holding meetings with several different attorneys over the next few weeks to discuss litigation strategies before filing suit to block the law from taking effect. Activist Post reports that in addition to the constitutional issues at stake, there's also the pragmatic argument against red flag laws. As Sheriff Mace points out, when someone has been deemed by a court to be a danger to themselves or others, the law gives the individual in question 48 hours to turn over their guns. And of course, once the firearms are seized, the dangerous person is left to their own devices. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis declared a public health emergency this week after 2 people in the state tested positive for coronavirus. One of the sick residents is an adult with no clear link to the countries where the virus is widespread, leading some to believe there are many other cases and carriers in the state that have not yet been tested. The Mind Unleashed reports health officials are also putting contacts of those patients into quarantine as a matter of precaution because the virus is so contagious. One of the people in quarantine for that reason happens to be a student whose classmates shook hands with Vice President Mike Pence last week. On Friday, just days after being named by Donald Trump as the head of the Outbreak Response Task Force, Pence was at a Sarasota Military Academy in Florida, shaking hands with cadets and posing for photographs. The student, who was at risk, was in quarantine and not at the event with Pence. But a coronavirus patient was mere points of unprotected contact away from the President of the United States. Amazon says it has pulled more than 1 million products for price gouging or for falsely advertising effectiveness against the coronavirus. Activist Post reports the company in a statement said that it has always required sellers provide accurate information on product pages and removes those that violates its policies. Amazon said that third-party sellers must follow its fair pricing policy, which states companies can't set a price significantly higher than seen in other places, or sell an item that misleads customers. The removal comes after Wired found sellers gouging the prices of coronavirus-related products, like face masks, or charging people exorbitant shipping costs, according to the magazine. In one instance, the publication found a seller with face masks for as much as 5 times their normal price. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at SNLSnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Well, our own Rebecca Mara takes us on a tour of the Olympic Village.
We have a full-size bed, lounge area, shower, plenty of space, which is great because I'm constantly having sex in there.
The Village is a temporary home to the world's most physically impressive, athletic men and women. It was important to the Olympic Committee to give them a comfortable, state-of-the-art area to each other's brains out while they're not competing.
We have a pool where they can have a sex, a theater where they can have a sex. All these athletes are hot, horny, ready to go. They deserve the best.
I was in Vancouver where I got eaten up by this French speed skater. I have to say, these facilities are even better, and I'm going to try to a Japanese guy.
You've spared no expense.
These athletes deserve the best. They sacrifice so much for their countries. They deserve to be able to until their and can't take it anymore.
And these facilities won't go to waste. Once the Olympics are over, they'll be converted to a resort where Russian businessmen can come to their prostitutes.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Free Talk Live. Call in, talk about whatever's on your mind. It's Mark with you.
Alex. And Dave.
Coming to you live from the U.S. Mariana Islands, where America's Day begins. Live free here in the U.S. Mariana Islands. You can call in, talk about whatever you want to talk about. But there was actually a story that came out in the recent past here locally, and the police are reporting crime has dropped, Dave.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing, right?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome the crime's dropped. Why did they say it happened?
Well, so my friend Paul, who's going to probably be on next week's show.
I was hoping he'd be on this week.
Yeah, he shared with me in a couple articles. One was from Radio New Zealand, and the other was from the Saipan Tribune, where apparently the general rate of crime has dropped in the last 5 years. Like property crime, like burglaries, is down 58%, and they all attribute it to community policing, drink driving programs.
Drink driving?
Yeah, they actually said that, and basically just Department of Public Safety just being on the job, and in the last 5 years, they forgot to mention that handguns were legalized.
Right, and you were
for home defense and all that stuff.
Because of your court case.
Yeah, and the same newspaper, actually the same news agencies, because for some reason I get the New Zealand thing, they all predicted that the gun apocalypse was going to happen and crime would skyrocket and all that stuff. So I just thought it was kind of interesting that the same people that were basically saying that I was an evil person for demanding that my rights be and other people's rights to self-defense be recognized are the same people taking credit for what I would basically say is...
Well, it was your lawsuit that...
but the deterrence of criminals. I mean, I wonder if they ever thought that the concept that maybe the risk of acute lead poisoning might have made some people decide that robbing houses is not a good idea.
It is amazing because these people always, the gun grabbers, the hand wringers, the worrywarts, are always expecting crime to just skyrocket because of guns. And the best I can tell, and I've looked into this issue quite a bit, the relationship between gun ownership and crime isn't that... There's just not that much. I mean, like there's places with high gun ownership and high crime. There's places with low gun ownership and low crime. And then there's high gun ownership and low crime. And like it's all a bunch of different things. But they're obsessed with this. And I think the reason they're obsessed with it is because they're taught in schools. It just keeps on getting handed down from those up high. Those up high do not want you to have a gun.
Right. Now, I'm not saying that, gun ownership alone is the deciding factor that made the crime go down. I mean, I think there's some other issues. Like
bet you
we legalized marijuana, for example, in this period, which I think really helped.
Some of the criminals just can't get up off the couch now.
Yeah, when they really went after marijuana in these islands, the DEA came by with their helicopters back in the 90s and like rappelled into people's yards and like cut down marijuana plants, and literally overnight, crystal meth became an issue. Like
this happens.
And bringing back to the coronavirus, I wonder how the fentanyl shipments are doing right now.
Probably. Probably not much going on.
But yeah.
I'm sure there's a police station that will test it for you if you're worried.
Yeah. But yeah. So the so there's like a numerous factors. I just don't think that the brilliant acumen of the police chief and
I doubt very seriously,
and drink driving checkpoints really did the trick.
I tend not to think so. There's a variety of factors, but one of them seems to be gun ownership in a given legal gun ownership in a given geographic area. It's difficult to know what illegal gun ownership does because it's illegal. We don't know how much of goes on and these kind of things. But legal gun owners, concealed carry permit holders, are the safest group of people we've been able to find besides those in a coma, right? They just don't commit crimes. As a matter of fact, they're 10 times safer than cops.
Yeah.
And cops are 100 times safer to the community than the regular citizen.
Well, another thing, too, is you read certain statements, right, like from people who are, like, I guess, of my persuasion. They'll say, like, the gun grabber types will go, oh, he's a terrible person because he wants to kill people because he's got a gun. It's like, no, I have a gun, so if a burglar does break into my house, I can defend myself. Oh, you just want to kill people. And yet the same kind of people, like this person in Colorado who's in their legislature, said that if she got coronavirus, she would go to a Trump rally and sneeze on everybody. Basically, so
she's a killer.
So you got these people who literally will advocate bioterrorism, but I'm bad because I want to defend my home.
Right, and I think there are people who have guns who want to who are waiting for that opportunity to shoot somebody who comes in their house. Personally, if a burglar comes in my house, there's nothing for him to take that's worth me killing him, to my mind. Now, however, if he threatens my family in any way, shape, or form, he's checking out.
Game over.
And that's, that's all, to me, a gun is to protect life and protect, just sort of, the body.
Well, I think sometimes, there's an argument about castle doctrine. Like, for example, if a guy's on your front porch and, he looks flat you funny, you could shoot him in some states. Whereas, I think the law here is, if there's a guy in your house, he's got your TV in his hand and he's, back is to you and he's walking out and you shoot him, that's first-degree murder. I kind of tend to agree with that.
You'd also put a hole in your TV.
Well, okay. Now, depending on what caliber you use, if you have hollow points, like a 380, maybe not, but a 357, yeah. I mean, so ballistics are important.
I wouldn't shoot somebody over my TV, but I think that a person should be able to, in that circumstance, that's up to the property owner to make that decision. That the burglar has, by initiating force and stealing that person's property, that they have ceased to have a decision in that particular in their life. They have given up that opportunity,
right?
And that then becomes the property owner's decision. I would not do it because TVs are cheap these days, and you shoot him, he's going to drop the TV. The TV's broken at this point. You're just you're just looking for an opportunity to shoot somebody.
Some people, I'm sure, are like that, but I think most people, even the psychotic types, don't really feel like paying for a lawyer and going to court. I think some people they may be like, I can't wait till the zombie apocalypse happens. Are the same people that'll go, I can't wait to shoot somebody so I can pay for a lawyer and go on trial for my life and be financially ruined.
There's been a few instances where people kill somebody in their house, and those people are incarcerated, and it's always in one of these marginal states, and it's scary stuff.
Well, I think there's I was reading about this the other day, and they made a compelling argument that how do you prevent someone from murdering and saying it was defense? So if you have a strong castle doctrine state, it's pretty easy to say that, oh, this person threatened me in my own home.
Right, I bring you to the house, and I say, "Hey, Alex, let's have a couple of drinks. You and I have had our problems. I want to bury the hatchet in your skull, and and why don't you come over? We'll have a couple of drinks. You come in, I shoot you right there. I rifle whatever, and then call the law. And I got up from a nap. He's cleaning
banging
my gun.
on my door.
He was right there. Bam, whammo, he's gone. And look, he's black." So I would think that at that point, now in my case, I shouldn't be using in the first person because I am a convicted killer, and it's going to be very bad news for me if I ended up with a dead person.
You said hatchet, right?
I did say hatchet, yeah. But whatever. The number, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. You're welcome to call in, comment on this or anything else. Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE, as in freedom.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you receive the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at AnyPayInc.com. AnyPayInc.com.
I can definitely say that I have found the best cryptocurrency wallet. Certainly the best named one. I'm Mark Edge, and I love the Edge wallet. I've been using it for the last few months. You can buy, sell, trade, and hold your cryptocurrency securely. I trust my holdings of all the major cryptocurrencies to Edge Wallet, and you should too. No long phrases to memorize, just a username and password. Secure your freedom with Edge Wallet. Get it now on Apple or Android in the App Store or at edge.app. The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
The political world is a maddening cesspool of corruption and lies. Nobody tells the truth. Nobody keeps campaign promises. Nobody obeys the Constitution. Nobody puts the people first. How can we ever escape this web of tyranny? Vote for nobody.
Hi, my name is Nobody. I'm running for governor of New Hampshire because nobody knows how to live your life better than you do, and nobody deserves that kind of power. I want to put you back in control of your money, your lifestyle, your work, your body, and your life. Nobody should rule you but you. New Hampshire convicts many people of so-called crimes that should never have been prosecuted. If elected, I will pardon every victimless crime in New Hampshire history. This includes drug, gambling, prostitution, gun, and driving offenses. Nobody should have a criminal record when they have not harmed anybody.
Wouldn't it be nice to have nobody telling you what to do? Learn more at electnobody.com. electnobody.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you get the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at anypayinc.com. anypayinc.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
Talk Live. Call in, talk about whatever's on your mind. It's Mark with you.
And Alex.
And Dave.
855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. Want to invite you out to Fork Fest. Go to forkfest.party. Yes, that is the URL. It's an event we're having. Free Talk Live, and, we're involved. Lots of... really, no one's in charge. So you can be in charge if you want.
I got a question. What exactly is Fork Fest? Is it a festival of forks?
It is. It's a fork of the Porcupine Freedom Festival. So it goes on afterwards. And
okay.
There's no fun police, basically. And so you can come out and have a great time at Rogers Campground in northern New Hampshire on the weekend of 4th of July. Go to forkfest.party. It was big last year, and it'll probably be bigger this year. Forkfest.party. Yeah, I just want to talk about some weird news stories. You were talking about, during the break, a weird news story about a guy who won the Darwin Award with his Chevy Nova.
Well, the Darwin Awards are always my favorite. Yeah, there was. I mean, I don't know if it's an urban legend, but I remember reading the Darwin Awards, and there was a guy somewhere out west who somehow got a hold of a rocket assisted takeoff pack.
And what is that?
Okay, it's like if you've ever gone to an air show and watched the Blue Angels, and they have the big C-130 Hercules, and they do this like really cool thing where they have rockets on the side of the big cargo plane, and they go and like it gets like a couple thousand feet of altitude like really quick, and then they cut off, and anyway, so it's basically a rocket engine.
Okay,
and this guy like said, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna, be a daredevil, and he gets one of these like cargo plane rocket packs, and he straps it on like the roof of his Chevy.
Oh no!
And he finds like this long stretch of desert road, and he gets in there and he's driving, gets into the second gear, gets into the third gear, and then like ignites the thing, and apparently, what they found afterwards, like his teeth and finger bones were like impacted into the dashboard, and it looked like an airplane crash apparently. But and they estimated that somewhere around 375 miles an hour he must have lost consciousness.
The wheels burned off.
The wheels, yeah, the rubber disintegrated. And what happened was like apparently the road veered off to like the right, and like there was a mountain or like a hill, and basically they saw where the streaks of rubber like left the road, and they figured the guy like must have he was like airborne for some like 2,000 feet.
Oh God!
And must have gotten an altitude of at least 100 feet, and he just and as I said, they thought it was a plane wreckage. It was a car. And my other favorite Darwin Award was this guy who wanted to go into the manure business, like selling manure for fertilizer. And the health department came and said, you can't do that. You got to get rid of this. So to dispose of it, he soaked it in diesel. And the mushroom cloud was visible from like 10 miles away.
It just blew up.
I guess the local university seismometers went off, and they never saw him again.
I do.
Or his house.
The methane can build up in barns. The barns will just explode.
Yeah. So it's just like, or the one where like in Egypt there was like 8 brothers who got killed rescuing a chicken.
Where was it being rescued from?
Okay, so it's like I think it was in Cairo or someplace, and this chicken fell down a well, and they wanted to rescue it. So the one brother
rescue is that in quotes?
They tried to rescue this chicken. So the one guy, and none of them could swim. So the first guy goes in to rescue the chicken,
drowns.
So the second brother goes in to try to save his brother. And literally it was a daisy chain of death. And then at the end, the chicken got out of the well by itself and survived.
Climbing over the bodies.
It's terrible.
The chicken survives.
And then there was these Polish brothers.
Oh no, the Polak joke.
No. I got every respect for the Polish people, but this is in Poland, and apparently these two guys were having like one of these, who's the bigger man contest, bigger man contest with a chainsaw and a lot of vodka. And the first guy sawed his like leg off, and then the other guy one-upped him by chopping his own head off.
Well,
the girlfriend, I'm sure the girlfriends were impressed and in therapy. Anyways, these are some crazy stuff.
That brings me to the story from the dailystar.co.uk. Marauding monkeys take over government office block and force officials to flee. Troops of monkeys have raided the offices of India's top cabinet ministers and taken over, leaving ministers too scared to make eye contact with the animals.
Well, those things are mean.
Yeah, they are mean. The Indian government is waging war on a troop of marauding monkeys who have taken over the offices of top officials. By the way, we still have, India can't not have bananas and rat poison. Or, I don't know, just a air rifle. Anyway, Punjab and Haryana Civil Secretariat headquarters in the northern India, which is home to cabinet ministers and bureaucrats, has been overrun by opportunist macaques who are said to climb into offices via balconies. These are smart. These are the smartest of monkeys.
Yeah.
Not apes. Meanwhile, security guards staged on site say they were being distracted from their work by the red-faced pests, but are unable to shoo them away while at their stations. Until a solution is found, they are reportedly making do with slingshots to protect themselves.
Wow.
Those slingshots will kill a man if you take ball bearing, the right shot with these things.
Wrist rocket, right?
Yeah, wrist rocket. They'll take care of whatever's ailing you. Let's see. The Punjab and Haryana Civil Secretariat, where houses of the offices of chiefs ministers of both states, the cabinet ministers and offices of the top bureaucrats, has literally been taken over by monkeys. Despite attempts to rid the headquarters of the menace, the paper reports the situation has become so bad, guards have to avoid eye contact or run away to avoid provoking them. Show them your badge. That'll stop them. Show them your badge. Tell them you're a super important person because you're a police officer.
I wonder how Charlton Heston would have dealt with this situation.
The other day, one monkey caught a hold of my jacket from behind. I did not turn and kept moving. The monkey went away. The monkeys are literally trying to steal the lunch money of these politicians. I gotta support this. An awesome office official, from the Punjab's administration department told the Indian Express, their officers are so desperate they're using homemade slingshots from fallen tree branches. We had offered that we can provide them with professional slingshots, the official said. Spokesman is now calling the government to employ full-time monkey catchers, citing concerns over the safety of using the slingshots. You could break a window. That's hilarious. Love this. So much fun.
You're sure this is not satire?
What are we going to do about these scofflaw monkeys, ladies and gentlemen?
Would you ever hear Dane Cook talk about you don't want a monkey?
You don't want a monkey. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Don't miss this year's LibertyCon with great speakers like Whole Foods CEO John Mackey, Congressman Justin Amash, and Nobel Prize winner Vernon Smith. Attend 2 spectacular debates. Is government necessary, and does capitalism require government intervention? Network with over 70 pro-liberty organizations. This and a whole lot more. April the 3rd through the 5th in Washington, D.C. Visit libertycon.com and use code FTL for a $10 discount on libertycon.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Are you tired of your taxes funding endless occupations around the world? Antiwar.com is run by people who understand that wars abroad become wars at home, wars on our freedoms. Antiwar.com is dedicated to bringing you the latest in news, views, interviews, and reviews from the top movers and shakers in the anti-occupation movement. Antiwar.com has it all, from thorough foreign policy analysis to interviews with whistleblowers who used to run the military-industrial complex. Anti-war, pro-free market. That's antiwar.com.
The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
Hi, I'm Derek J. To me, an activist's calling is to actively work to advance a cause. The cause for which I work is personal freedom. I believe my life is best when I engage in voluntary interactions and self-government. I reject the idea that anyone else has a higher claim to my life or my body than I do. I see people who call themselves the government as a threat to my personal freedom. I realize you may feel differently, but my relationship with the people who call themselves the government is completely involuntary. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
Call in and talk about anything you want to talk about. I want to talk about marauding bands of macaques keeping government officials from working too hard there in India. I just think this is glorious. Can't get enough of this. So, from the Daily Mail here, dailystar.co.uk. God, I hope this isn't some kind of
onion
kind of thing, but I love it. I just don't care. This is so awesome. I don't know what the name of this. They've got the security agency, and the security agency spokesman is now saying he's calling on the government to employ full-time monkey catchers, citing concerns over the safety of using slingshots. So they're giving slingshots to the security around. He says it's not the CISF's duty to shoo away the monkeys. Our duty is to stop any intrusion or any terrorist attack. How can we stop or shoo away monkeys? All right, so quite literally, security is saying it's not our job to secure the building.
What if the monkeys are secretly being mind controlled by
What if those are
terrorists?
Pakistani monkeys?
Yeah.
That's all you need to do in India. Mention Pakistan.
Oh, could that yeah, they
rally
could've-
them all.
The Pakistani government could have had
They
a
train
monkey
those
bomb.
monkeys.
Why? Here's my first question. It's not like macaques are endangered. These are a prolific monkey. And, my thing would be, all right, whoever wants a troop of macaques that apparently doesn't like cops or government officials can come get them. You have 1 week. And then we start laying out the rat poison-laced bananas. And then problem solved. You just need some garbage cans to clean up after that.
And I'm sure there's an animal market in a nearby country that would love to have them. Too soon?
Wait, it actually
It's
doesn't.
the India flu.
It doesn't taste that bad.
We are asked to use slingshot. But what if the shot hits people? Okay, so the security guards are like, our aim sucks. We're bad at our job. The best solution is monkey catchers. The government should engage monkey catchers.
Well, they should just beware of their backstop. It's a basic safety, gun safety. Never shoot anything unless you're. So
Yeah.
if you got these Indian security guards shooting each other because they're missing the monkey, then
If every time a monkey comes down to harass somebody, it gets a BB shot right in the head and clunk, it's out. The rest of the monkeys will stop coming down and disappear at night.
I'm just picturing range day at the Indian security forces where they go, everybody's got slingshots. That'd be hilarious.
However, local reports say traditional monkey management methods have so far failed, and the monkey population is getting out of control. God, I love this story.
What are they using as projectiles?
I don't know. Maybe rocks. If you get that round shot
ball bearings, or
that comes with a wrist rocket, you're going to kill a monkey.
Yeah.
Last year, the Punjab...
Or piss them off.
Right, really angry monkey. The broomstick will take care of an angry monkey. Last year, the Punjab government wrote in desperation to the someplace chiefs of Conservator of Forests and Wildlife Warden, appealing to permanent wildlife rescue staff to be staged at the offices during working hours as part of the action. This was last year. As part of the action plan, what is this? Plan human langor monkey mimics. Oh my God, this is so great. Were brought in to scare the smaller macaques away, but they soon became wise to the tactics. Resourcing shortages have been made the planned full-time monkey police impossible. The head of the nearby forests and wildlife said, Dr. Danyep told the Indian Express, we have a team of about a dozen and we have 40 locations in the city to cover. There's just too many macaques for the fake monkey people to cover. Once a complaint is made, the team members reach the spot within 30 minutes. It's practically not possible to station two members at one place. So he blames food litter in the office for attracting the pests, so people weren't doing good enough. I guess they're just there for the garbage, right?
Right. Well, it reminds me of like the scene from Archer where you want ants, that's how you get ants.
Well, yeah. Meanwhile, the monkey tamers said they will work full-time at the government offices and rehome them humanely if they're employed full-time. What do we need humane for? These things are running around biting people. Monkey tamer Gaffer, a contractor from the wildlife rescue team, said that if they want to retain us, they will have to pay. They have deployed hundreds of personnel for security. We cannot. Why can they not hire two experts to shoo away monkeys? Thousands of out-of-control rhesus macaques monkeys are said to live around the various government buildings in India, including the presidential palace in the capital, New Delhi. God, this is so awesome. So there you go. The Indian officials have to run away from the monkeys. I don't know. Where can
Send Ted Nugent.
Can we get some macaques in Washington D.C.? I think this could only help the situation.
I think we already have some.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll drain the swamp.
They are the swamp.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. Got another one here. Director of taxpayer-funded museum in the United States says, I hope every single one of you pieces of S that votes Republican today dies. Director of a Texas museum partially funded by taxpayer dollars appears to be in hot water over a message she posted on Facebook, Super Tuesday. I don't know if this is true either, but I love it. I hope every single one of you pieces of S that votes Republican today dies. Executive director of the. Now, shouldn't she have the freedom of speech to say, express her?
Well, I
anger?
say the feeling's mutual, but it's like, well, that brings up an article I brought in last week. We didn't get to was about secession movements in the country. I mean, why can't we
pull it up there?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that is one of the things is that people are forced to live in a country where they, they may not have voted for the person who's in charge.
Yeah, this
right in the mic.
This story here is Blue State Blues sparks secession movements nationwide. And the gist of it is it shows the map from the latest election showing where the Democrats and Republicans live. And it's actually, I mean, there are these little archipelagos of islands filled with like a lot of liberal left-leaning people who want open borders and gun control, being surrounded by these big, vast areas of, what I call normal people.
Right. So what you basically have is a situation where the leftist Americans live along the West Coast and up in the sort of Northeast and New England. And then you've got some other counties where people voted, Democrat because it's basically
university area probably.
No, it's usually Latinos, right? They used to be Republican voters, at least in Texas and Arizona, but that stopped with 9/11 more or less.
I got a good friend lives in Virginia Beach, and he was saying that in his part of the state, North Carolina is offering to take those counties, and the other part of the state, West Virginia, is talking about taking those counties. A lot of people in Oregon want to join Idaho, and I've really been thinking for the longest time, that maybe we just need to have a divorce. America is like an old couple that's been together way too long. The kids have gone to college, and they just can't stand each other. And probably the best thing they do before they kill each other is just get a divorce.
Right, and one has to wonder, so you have a county that's sitting right there on the border of North Carolina and Virginia. Well, why shouldn't that county be able to vote? 2/3 of the people in the county say, yeah, we'd like to go to North Carolina. Why shouldn't they be able to just, change the map that way?
Well,
why does it matter? Because it's not like it's going to change the demographics of the House that much. Or the Senate. What's the big deal here? The Senate's still going to have 50 states.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get why they don't want to have, if you're going to bring in a state, you have to bring in a red one and a blue one at the same time, more or less, because of the politics of bringing in new states.
Yeah.
But
then taxes also come into this, because if you're living in Fresno, you're paying for the people in San Francisco.
The taxes are huge.
And your values are completely different.
855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. Call in. Might be able to squeeze you in here on Free Talk Live.
Would you like to get back that full head of hair from years past? Now, there is Reveal. Beverly Hills celebrity dermatologist Dr. Nathan Newman took nearly a decade to develop Reveal from natural botanicals to return to a full-body head of hair. Reveal for men and women with a 30-day money-back guarantee at gcnlife.com or toll-free 844-443-6637. 844-443-6637. Reveal at gcnlife.com.
Extendivite really works. Just listen to what Dr. Joe has to say.
Hypertension runs in my family, unfortunately. I started having problems a number of years ago, and I had heard the commercials a number of times, and I personally do not like the idea of being on medication. Even though I'm a physician, you would think, that's our thing, but we just don't like it. So I figured, I'll start the product, and I did, and I got to tell you, it does help. By the grace of God and that product, my labs come back really good all the time, right on the money. I used to always have cold toes in the wintertime, and I used to love going down to Florida for my medical conferences. But since I've been taking the product regularly, I don't have that problem anymore. You got a great product there, Don, and I just wanted to tell you how appreciative I am. Thank you so much.
To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Do you feel like many of us? All the distractions in the world taking our minds and focus off what really needs to get done day to day? Well, Janess has a dietary supplement called Mind to help with mental distraction, and it supports memory function. Go to gcnlife.com now to check it out. You're only at your best when your mind is at its best. Go to gcnlife.com or call toll-free 844-443-6637. That's gcnlife.com or 844-443-6637.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live, final segment. I didn't even mention the Discord lines, but it's probably, if you've ever considered calling in, I think this is the best way to do it. If you go to discord.freetalklive.com, you have to sign up for Discord. You know, it's username, password. You've done this whole thing when you got an email address and all the other things that goes on the internet. There's probably terms of service where you're giving away your children, or well, God knows what goes on in there. But if you sign up ahead, then all you have to do, if you go to discord.freetalklive.com, is along the side of the page, depending on whether you use your phone or your laptop or whatever the situation might be, is a way to call in. It's all on-air call-in lines. By the way, there are special call-in lines for the AMP program. You can... there's somebody in the toxic call-in line called Dirty Frank. I'm not taking Toxic. Toxic used to be that's for another show that's on the Liberty Radio Network. So to me that just means somebody who's going to cuss. I don't know who Dirty Frank is, and that frightens me. So not going to happen. But regular folks who are not toxic users can call in on the on-air call-in line. Now let's talk about how one becomes a toxic user. So perhaps you threaten people in the main group with bodily harm. We don't accept that. Perhaps you use racial slurs regularly, and it's just disgusting. Okay, fine. We'll pop you in the toxic user zone, and you can play with the trolls. Whatever the case may be, that's how all that goes. So, discord.freetalklive.com. It is far better. We didn't get a Discord call tonight, but the audio is a lot better on Discord. Oh, we got David in New Mexico's been waiting online on the regular phones. Let's go to that real quick. David, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey,
David.
Yes, I'm here. You there?
Talk. Yes, please.
Yes. The unbelievably, there's not only another Sheriff White who's in Florida, Bob White, but there's actually a second.
Not everybody knows that. There's a bird in Florida that goes Bob White. It makes that noise that you're talking about. It's so awesome.
And he got elected sheriff. There's a.
I like that. I'd have voted for his dog too.
Lot of campaigning, running around going Bob White, Bob White.
I'm sold.
So there's that Sheriff Darren White in Albuquerque, and unbelievably, there's also. Oh, by the way, Sheriff Darren White in Albuquerque is from Suffern, New York, which is about aptly named. Anyway, so another carpetbagger. But there's a Darren White in Missouri too. I just see. But this Darren White in Albuquerque, since he won't talk to me on his radio program, I talk about him on your radio program. There's a couple of controversies. He had his wife had crashed her car a few years back, and she was dealing with, imagine if you crash your car and the ambulance shows up and there's a cop or two there, and they're probably wondering what caused you to crash your car. Are you
question.
All right? Are you under the influence of anything, Mrs. Sheriff Darren White of Albuquerque, New Mexico? And so they were beginning that process, and then up flies an official city vehicle with its lights going upon the scene, barges in amongst the other cops. I mean, and that's another thing. If you and I tried to enter into the investigation that was going on of some other police officers where a woman had crashed her car, what do you think might happen to us?
You're going to be summarily expelled from that group.
Right,
If
and that
you're
didn't
lucky.
happen. That didn't happen to Sheriff Darren White when he was coming upon his wife's accident here. And so Sheriff Darren White dealt with the officials at hand, and the wife was not tested for anything on the scene. She wasn't incapacitated from the crash. She had just crashed her car. She wasn't, injured, so she couldn't be subjected to testing. But Sheriff Darren White excused her, took her away from the scene of the accident within, basically immediately, within a half hour of that accident. He had taken her away.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though there were professionals on the scene, Sheriff Darren White's not a medical professional, and there happened to be an ambulance crew there with several medical professionals, and that's what they were claiming had happened. Was it was a medical event. So instead of being transported in the ambulance to the hospital, Sheriff Darren White said, "Oh, we don't need your medical professionals in your ambulance, even though that's the job you're here to do, and you're trained to do it better than I am. I'll just take my own wife to the hospital." And so he took his wife to the hospital, and I believe didn't go to the emergency room. I think they went and were seen by private physician, and then later supplied documentation from what I deduced to be from the various reading I've done to be their private doctor saying that no, Mrs. Sheriff Darren White of Albuquerque, New Mexico, was not under the influence of anything. We did our private testing and such. We didn't really need your government testing in this car crash. We did our private testing, and here are the results. And she was not under the influence of anything.
Ta-da!
So, yeah.
I mean, yeah. It's hard to trust that particular test when she got very special treatment.
Why would you not trust that, Mark?
I don't know, but I certainly don't. Do you?
Oh, okay. So, and anyway, another thing that Sheriff White, there was a dead lawyer turned up in Albuquerque a while back, a Mary Hahn, H-A-N. She had apparently either committed suicide or accidentally killed herself. She was found sitting in her parked car inside of her garage with the motor running. And just so happened to be that the way she made her living was suing Albuquerque Police Department and other law enforcement in the Albuquerque market. That's how she made her living. And I guess she just decided she didn't want to live anymore. I don't know what she was, in her mid to late 50s or whatever, and successfully suing the cops all the time. And then she just decided to kill herself, or maybe she went out in the garage and had a glass of wine and decided to listen to the tunes on the radio, and battery was getting low, so she started up the car to keep the tunes
it's
going. I don't know.
Curiouser and curiouser, isn't it?
Yeah. So,
David, I appreciate the call. I think it's, David's a watchdog for this kind of stuff, and he comes up with some really great stories. I want you to get a chance to David here to finish your, or at least get the gist of the story as far as the. Get up on that mic, please.
Well, this is, as I said, this is something that I've been following for some years now, and the article starts out, I'm just going to read the first two paragraphs. It says, every 4 years, America doesn't just elect a new president, they get reminded about how America is politically divided. We are all familiar with those maps of the United States, divided by county, with large swaths of red counties peppered with smaller specks of blue counties. Those blue counties tend to be urban, with higher concentrations of population. So even deep blue states have large land areas with mostly conservative voters in them, and all too often their interests are completely ignored.
I'm looking at a map here of the United States, and if you look at the red versus blue areas, and there's some pink and some light blue, but if you look at sort of just cut it, red versus blue, the country is mostly red, but those red areas are mostly cows.
Well, actually, it's like 50% of the population lives in the red areas, and the other 50% lives in the blue areas.
Yep.
And what I think is kind of interesting is
where are the guns?
The red guys got the guns and grow the food.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like we were talking about taxation and fairness. Well, like for example, if I'm a rancher in Bakersfield, California, and I'm not really in on the agendas that the people in Los Angeles are into, but I'm still paying taxes to push things like Drag Queen Story Hour at the public library,
right.
It's just kind of funny that you're seeing a lot of people being left behind when it comes to, like, people talk about this whole electoral college is not fair because it screws people out of the popular vote. But part of the reason why our Constitution was written that way is because they took an idea from the Indians, which the tyranny of the 51% is a real thing, and we can't have that.
Indeed, and I think that the best solution for it is something we've talked about here, is that basically counties should be able to move from state to state, and that would solve a lot of the problems. I'd like it if the counties were right on the border, but look at Michigan. It's got two separate areas. As a matter of fact, that goes on in the Delmarva Peninsula too. Virginia.
You will understand the true intent of the Founding Fathers when they wrote the Constitution if you attend this free webinar. Chris Ann Hall, president of Liberty First University, doesn't simply regurgitate what some professor or expert has said about the Constitution. She relays the thoughts and opinions of those who wrote the documents. Her straightforward, passionate, easy-to-understand style lets anyone grasp the principles of liberty. Join us at lfu.freetalklive.com to watch the free pre-recorded webinar. Watch now at lfu.freetalklive.com.
Do you want to work from home, get paid, and forward liberty all at the same time? Free Talk Live is looking for account executives and appointment setters. If you've got a phone, a computer, internet connectivity, initiative, and a belief in the non-aggression principle, you're qualified. Earn up to $85,000 a year full-time, $25,000 a year part-time. Set your own hours, work from home, spread freedom. Join our team and work with one of the biggest leaders in the liberty movement. Apply now at sales.freetalklive.com. Sales.freetalklive.com. I'm a little obsessed with My Magic Mud. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, the founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I didn't even know my teeth were coffee stained. A week's worth of use convinced me, and now I use it every 3 or 4 days. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, and I think it cleans better, too. My Magic Mud's available at most local health food stores, Sprouts, Natural Grocers, CVS, Walmart's Natural Beauty Aisle, but I can get it for you for 20% off with coupon code FTL20 at mymagicmud.com. FTL20 mymagicmud.com.
What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone, you forgot to download our archive, and you have no data connection? You can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live Listen line, 641-793-0191.
The latest episode of Questioning Authority is next after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,641, silver at $17.23, and Bitcoin is trading around $8,779. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/freekratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, Cibola County, New Mexico Sheriff Tony Mace says he and other sheriffs from around the state are meeting with attorneys this week as they get ready to file suit over the state's new red flag law, signed last week by the governor. During the signing ceremony, the governor said that sheriffs who aren't prepared to enforce the new law should resign. But Sheriff Mace and other sheriffs are taking the matter to court instead. Mace said that the sheriffs will be holding meetings with several different attorneys over the next few weeks to discuss litigation strategies before filing suit to block the law from taking effect. Activist Post reports that in addition to the constitutional issues at stake, there's also the pragmatic argument against red flag laws. As Sheriff Mace points out, when someone has been deemed by a court to be a danger to themselves or others, the law gives the individual in question 48 hours to turn over their guns. And of course, once the firearms are seized, the dangerous person is left to their own devices. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis declared a public health emergency this week after 2 people in the state tested positive for coronavirus. One of the sick residents is an adult with no clear link to the countries where the virus is widespread, leading some to believe there are many other cases and carriers in the state that have not yet been tested. The Mind Unleashed reports health officials are also putting contacts of those patients into quarantine as a matter of precaution because the virus is so contagious. One of the people in quarantine for that reason happens to be a student whose classmates shook hands with Vice President Mike Pence last week.